Hello, and welcome to another TagEditor lesson. This one is one for the more advanced. Okay, we're gonna discuss about tag settings. What exactly are tag settings? Well, let's say we're gonna try and translate an XML file. XML means extended meta language. Okay, and this one is actually uh, a, let's say a part of code. So it contains things that should be translated and things that should not be translated. Um, well, how do we get along doing that? We can either try and open it in something like Dreamweaver, which is basically a tool for web development, and just start typing on hand, which is kind of time consuming, and you have to just read through it, and it's very dangerous as you may end up deleting parts of code you shouldn't and stuff like that. Well, there is a shorter way of doing it in the Trados in TagEditor, and that one involves using something called um, tag settings. Well, you can receive those from the client, or you can generate those yourself. It depends. Sometimes clients don't have tag settings because they don't know how Trados works, and they just send you an XML file like this one. Well, let's say in this case we need just the part between the value tags translated. You'll notice this value and then slash value. These two are tags, beginning and ending tags. Well, if we try and open it in TagEditor, you'll see what happens. Yeah, I won't open a translation memory because I don't need one. And if we try and open it, you'll see it says the document contains an unknown doc type declaration roots elements empty config blah blah blah. A tag settings file has not yet been defined. Would you like to specify the settings now? Yeah, we would. And you'll see there's already a predefined list made by the developers of TagEditor. Some of them are quite good. Some of them need improving because uh, uh, this extended meta language is preferential, so a client may invent a tag which is not among these in the list. And let's say we're gonna use the predefined HTML settings, and we're gonna select them. It says it's not compatible, obviously because it was created with different settings, but we'll just tick yes. And if you see it doesn't quite look the way we would want it to look, it's just unstructured, so it means it's not the thing we need. Let's try and get something closer to it. Let's try and use this one. You can go to tools and tag settings and can see the whole list. And let's try and use this time the resix resource files, because usually these are resource files. They're databases for websites, stuff like that. Okay, let's just drag and drop it again and select this one. It says again it's not. And now we're gonna see it's a bit more structured than before. And this is the part where we want to get close. We'll see almost all the things we don't need are in tags, which is a really good thing, but we still have the name part available. Let's say we don't want to edit this. What do we do? Well, for this we'll have to create a new tag setting. Well, it's fairly simple. If you go to tools and tag settings, you'll see there's this resix files saved somewhere else. Let's see where it's saved. In C program data, SDL international filters resix-ini. You either search for it, but it's under hidden folder, so you have to check the whole hidden part. Or you can just go to that link. Let me just stop my. And this is how you you show hidden files. And now I'm gonna go to program data and SDL international filters. Yep, and it should be here. Here it is. We're just gonna copy this one, and I'm gonna copy it here. Okay, because we need to import it and edit it. To do that, we have this new button. We'll click on new, and it says what it does. Welcome, blah blah blah. You can read through this one because it's quite explanatory. and we'll click next. We have to choose a name for it, and we're just gonna resx2 or something like that. And we're gonna set it as new settings for XML files. We're gonna click on the next button, and you'll see we'll have an import button. You can create it from scratch and decide which tag should go where, but it's more work. Or you can import it and edit it. Let's import the one we selected. And you'll see it already added a schema. It's very difficult to try and explain this because it's more programming and it's nothing you can use so far. And we're just going to click OK. And now we're going to click Next. It will decide which text you can use for tags and stuff like that, but it's uninteresting. Okay, now we're at step 4, which is the step we're interested in. If you can see, the res header contains lock text. We're going to select this one also. The XSD schema lock text as well. We're going to select this one as well because these are parts you usually shouldn't translate. And now let's say we're going to add the name part, which we don't want to translate. We're going to select add, and here you can see it looks quite difficult, but you can try and experiment with it. Uh, you'll see it's visual under the bottom here once we do it. Okay, let's say we're going to use as element name the name actually of the tag, which is the text between the brackets. Okay, so it's name, okay? And it's normal as content type, external because we don't want to edit it, and it's external, we want to keep it in place. If it's internal, it's one of those tags you can move specifically where you need it in the translation. And we're going to select not translatable. Okay, and click OK. And we'll see it added a new element. Sorry. It added a new element here. And it says name sample text. This is how it looks. So if we click this one, the part between name will be untranslatable, and also the name tags will be closed. Let's see what happens if we add one with normal and internal. Well, sorry, I didn't give it a name. Let's say we're gonna give it a name, for example, for a page break, stuff like that. We can find all sorts of tags invented by the programmer. And if we do this, you'll see the page break part is red, and we can move it along wherever we need it. For example, if we have this B symbol, this is bold. This means bold text in HTML. So if we do this, oh sorry, I forgot to take it. I'm gonna delete this one because we don't need it. If I add the B part and I add it as internal and normal, it will generate this. This means the part between these two symbols will be bold text. So when the client transfers this to HTML, it will be as this part, sample text, will be bolded out in the sentence, and you can move these tags wherever you want. Or you can add individual tags, and you can put empty, for example, and put tag 1, and you'll see it just adds one single tag like this one. So, and if you add one like CD data and add edit CD1, for example, you'll see wherever it finds CD data and this text, it will edit the text between. It's very easy to customize according to what your needs are. So our needs in this case are, we just need, I'm just gonna delete these we don't need, and we just need the name part locked. We're gonna select it as well, and then we're gonna click next. This part is also important. You can select to uh, close some math symbols. It's very useful for programming. Specials for HTML, symbols for publishing, and you can add those just by clicking and eliminate a lot of things that you don't need to translate or you need to lock. And we're just gonna click next and finish. And we're gonna save it as resx2. Okay. In order to use it, we're gonna have to start all over again. So we're gonna use Tools, Tag Settings. You're gonna see it's here, okay? And we're just gonna click OK. When we drag and drop, you'll see again it says it doesn't have a tag file, but I'm gonna select Res62 now. It says it's not compatible, obviously, but if you look at it, it has all the content we don't need to translate locked, and just the content we need to go through unlocked. This way you can avoid damaging the file and just translating, and you can just translate what needs to be translated. Okay, hope this was clear enough. If you have any questions, you can always contact me on Skype, Constantine PM, and we can talk about tag settings or whatever. Have a great day.